Hello, my friend, and welcome back. My name is Anne, and today I want to talk about a journey that I am personally on and that I would like to do. First, let's say hello to Lorenzo. He's going to probably be walking around our video, so if you see him, that's what it is. So I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and I was speaking about how my goal, the way that I really envision and want to live my life, is I want to live my life in the flow of life. I want to live the life of surrender. And by surrender, I don't mean just giving up and like just letting the chips fall where they may. By surrender, I mean living the life that the divine intends for me, that I can tune into the divine and I can tune into my gifts and I can tune into my higher self through my intuition, and that those gifts, those tools will help me to lead the life that I'm not only here to lead, but that is my highest joy. That is what I want to do. Now, I have heard of this a little bit, but when I listened to a podcast with, I believe his name is Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul, and I hadn't read The Untethered Soul. I'm actually almost finished it now, and he has a second book called The Surrender Experiment, which will be next on my list to read. But in this podcast, he just speaks in such a way, and it's just so inspiring. It is just so... It just makes you want to live this way. And he talks about like living a life of surrender and taking inspired action and listening to your intuition and letting it guide you every step of the way. Because I think that sometimes, and at least I know that I guess I always felt like intuition was for big things, getting you out of danger or making a big decision or something like that. But I think what we don't realize is if we ask and allow that our intuition, our guides, or what, your higher self, however you want to label it, will help you, guide you through every step of your life. And you may want that, you may not want that. Sometimes I almost feel like it's bossy. And I remind myself that one, I have asked for this help, and two, that my highest good is what is coming through my intuition. If you continually do the work to clear your channel and to, allow yourself to trust and to listen to your intuition and to be able to decipher what is your intuition and what is your thinking mind, when you continually start to do that work, you can then trust that your intuition is leading you exactly where you need to go. And it can be something as so small, but it could maybe alleviate a small frustrating situation, therefore making it a nice situation and putting out a positive ripple as opposed to maybe putting out a frustrated ripple. And that is really a big part of my journey right now. I have been called to surrender and to let go for a long time now, and it's hard. It's hard to let go of the fear of what's gonna happen, what is, when we come from our thinking mind, we have a plan and we're like, okay, I'm gonna go from point A to point B to point C to point D. And you can formulate this plan, and what it really is for your ego is it is a safety blanket, because your ego is there to keep you safe. Your ego is there, that's why it never wants to die, because if the ego dies, then you're not safe, and that is the ego's job, is to keep you safe. So, and I do feel that the ego serves in keeping you safe in a lot of aspects, especially if you, and a lot of people are right now, if you are in survival mode. If your basic needs are not met, your ego serves you. Now, I am incredibly blessed. I live in the US. I'm incredibly blessed to be able that all of my basic needs are met. And by basic needs, I mean food, shelter, water, those kinds of basic needs. I am able to now go from a survival mode into a thriving mode. And I feel as though accelerating myself into the thriving mode by raising my vibration and by living a life of surrender and living the life that the divine intended for me, that my soul contract intended for me to during this lifetime, that I will help to raise the vibration to allow others who may be in survival mode out of no choice of their own. Well, they think it's no choice of their own, but on a very high level, it is a soul's choice. But it was no human choice of their own to be in that it will then raise everyone up. When you shine your light bright and when you raise your vibration, everyone's vibration raises. Every person on the planet then gets a little raise of vibration. That is why it is so important for you right now to be raising your vibration and to be feeling good. Actually good, not numbingly good. And there's a difference. By doing that collectively, the more people that do that, the easier and the higher the vibration goes, and the more that we will be able to raise the vibration of, for example, people living in survival mode, that then they will eventually be able to go from survival mode into thriving mode. And if you are someone that maybe feels like they are in survival mode, maybe you're just making ends meet. There's a million different ways. Keep going and find small moments of joy, regardless of what is going on in your life or your financial circumstances, or if if you are fighting for clean water or electricity, or you don't have all of these wonderful resources at your fingertips, you can also work on raising your vibration. Their meditation is free. Breathing is free. Taking a few deep breaths. Being in awe of nature. Stopping and looking at how beautiful nature is when you get the opportunity. Those are all ways that you can find moments of joy and raise your vibration, and that will help to raise you up out of having to be in survival mode and going into that thriving mode. So my journey of living a life of surrender, I think, is a journey that a lot of us are on, and I would say that fear is the number one thing keeping me from completely letting go. It's fear of what is my intuition going to tell me? What journey am I going to go on? What is going to happen? And that is all just my thinking mind. So I am actively working on coming out of my thinking mind and getting into my heart and really realizing that there is only faith, there is only trust, there is only oneness, there is no separateness. So any worry or fear of something that I would be letting go of, the fear of what it might be replaced by, or that it wouldn't even be replaced, is an illusion, because the reality is we are here to grow in faith and trust and love. And when we get into that alignment of love, there are no needs, there are no worries, there are no fears, because there is only that ultimate faith that everything is working out for your highest good. And it's definitely a challenge. You know, it's a daily battle of your conditioned thinking mind and your heart. And that's where I am right now. I just wanted to share that with you, just in case anyone is kind of at that place in their life as well, that place in their life that they are being asked to leap. They are being asked to jump, just with the trust and faith that you will be caught, or, you know, that you can jump in, and that the faith that you will be able to swim. Because being caught, in order for you to be caught, you have to jump. And that is the metaphor for having faith in the divine and following your intuition, is that you have to jump first. You have to take that action first. And then the divine will be there with that safety net. A safety net that I hope and can only imagine is more comforting and wonderful than you could ever imagine. So that is our message for this day, and I hope that you got a little bit of value from it. I just really want to come from a place of sharing my journey. I am not a guru. I just ask that I am a divine channel, and that my words are inspired, and that I share messages that humanity needs to hear right now. So I hope it brought you value, and I hope you liked it. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you again, my friend.